Warning! This podcast contains school.
No. Hey everyone, and welcome back to ASOTV podcast for this week, and it's Shenanigans for Supernatural Season 13, Episode 6, Tombstone. With me tonight, well, first, I'm Nikki, and with me tonight, I have Dom and Kim.
Oh, hi.
Let me just say no.
No.
Just no.
No.
What did you guys think of this episode?
It was
I liked it.
as fun as I was expecting it to be.
It
But I
was
didn't
still
hate it.
pretty good. No, it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
So I was actually kind of confused the first time I watched this particular the beginning, because I didn't know if it was a flashback or a flash forward.
Oh, yeah.
So eventually that gets solved, and it's a flash forward of Dean hunting with the town sergeant, which I kind of liked him. I kind of liked the sergeant. He reminded me of oh god, I can't remember what his name was in that one show, but yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Oh, it was the guy with the face.
You know
Yeah.
that one place with that one thing with that one person?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was that.
You guys got it.
The guy
Awesome.
with the hair and the eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one. But after that, we get into finding out that God has no power in the empty. So we kind of knew that because it existed before him.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like them, them reinforcing that, he isn't the all powerful that everyone has come to know and fucking praise every day. So, all right, I went there.
At least in this rendition of him.
Yeah. We find, we get reminded that what gets burned stays dead, which isn't true in this case because Cass is back.
There's always an exception to the rule.
Yep. And Jack gets to meet
To
him.
every rule.
Every rule has an exception.
That's true.
But what's the exception to that rule?
Cass?
No, the exception to the fact that every rule has an exception.
Like Cass is every
It means one rule out there can't have an exception. Because there's an exception to every exception.
An exception doesn't mean the opposite of an exception.
This is just infinity, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, there's shades of gray, right?
50 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Jack gets to meet Cass, and there's a big hug, and he goes, you could just see how my daddy's home, and he's just so happy. Dean is just so happy because he got his win that he's been talking about, that he's been depressing over for how many. Well, I don't think it's the big win that he wants, but it was a win that he really liked.
A big one having the mom back too, but
yeah, I think the big win would be that everything is just hunky dory and nobody needs to hunt anymore. They get
mom's dead.
I think so too. But I mean, he's chill now. He's chiller, and he's actually being nice to Jack.
Yeah.
He's not being hostile with him anymore, not calling him a monster, not calling him, all these things. And he's actually trying to reassure Jack that, he's okay and what he's doing will get better. So with that, Jack is still trying to impress them all, and he figured out how to research cases very well. Well, kind of. Because Dean said, we've done more on less. So Jack looking into this case, he's all happy because he thinks he found zombies.
Zombies.
And I know we've seen versions of zombies. That's like kind of what ghouls are. That's what happened in season what season was it? 10? No. Maybe it was. No, it wasn't 10. It was way earlier than that. When did Jodie come in? Season 7? 8?
I'll have to
That was
look.
before that.
Was it before that?
Jodie Mills.
I think actually,
She's been along for a long time, so.
Yeah, she has. She's been around. But like that was the first
Season
episode
5.
of season 5. We got all of the, that one town where people were coming back from the dead and they would start out fine and then they'd go vicious and eat people.
Mm-hmm.
But that I don't think that's I guess that is kind of a zombie.
She had her zombie son.
Yes. And
that's not if they're ghouls. Not you can turn to a ghoul.
Those weren't ghouls.
No, those were zombies.
Those were a take on zombies because they were just reanimated out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Had to do with the apocalypse. It was one of the first signs or something.
Yeah,
it was
Sam Hain.
Yes, Sam Hain. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, that was before. That was after. Before Sam Hain. Sam Hain was that witch that came back from the dead, locked them in a crypt. This was with Bobby's wife, Jodie's son, a lot of other people coming back to life.
Yeah, I thought that was a residual effect of what happened the season before. Because Sam Hain was season 4, and I thought the residual of what he was doing is what caused that town in season 5 to spring up.
Nope. Pretty sure it's not. It's just, it was souls, random souls just coming out from being released from wherever they were. It wasn't even, it's not connected to Sam Hain. Anyways, Dean decides that this case is something he wants to do because Dodge, Kansas is awesome, apparently. And he brings his own hat, his own cowboy hat, his boots. He brings a little, what are they, Texas Ranger ties? Is that what that is? It's like a little
it's a little
brooch.
Yeah.
He goes all out. He brings all of this stuff, and he's hyped with the room they got. What was it? The Bill Wild? Wild Bill suite. And there was all these famous shooters on the wall, and he was just like fangirling like some sports person would with a wall of fame. Mm-hmm. So it was cute. So he's like, we're gonna have showers, we're gonna have steak dinner, and then we're gonna get up in the morning and we're gonna do this shit. And then him and Sam go away. Yeah. Jack and Cass figure out that neither one of them sleep much, so they don't have to take the couch. And then, there's more research, and Jack gets a hit, and he goes, I'm gonna go wake them. And Cass is like, no, don't do that.
That's a terrible idea. Do not wake a sleeping bear.
Yep. No, Jack, don't wake the bear. And the thing is, though, the way Dean woke up, he was like, blah, blah, blah. He made this weird sound, and he had the gun to Jack's face, and Jack's like, holy shit. And then once he realized
it's me.
Yeah, once he realized it was Jack, he just kind of laid back down and said, who's making my coffee?
I loved it. That's what it was like a total turnaround. Like
it just went from like hyper alert to I'm just gonna go back to sleep in like a millisecond. Just it's like when those people like they make a joke and they're like ha 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 ha, and then all of a sudden they go straight faced, and it's just like so instantaneous and it's so noticeable, and it makes you laugh because you don't expect it. I can't do it.
It's like we were driving to the Catskill Game Farm when I was younger. I'll never forget this. We stopped to get Pepsi before whatever, we pulled in a gas station. We get a can of Pepsi. My brother was just at that age where he still drank out of straws. He didn't drink out of the can directly, whatever. And so he asks for a straw, and we're like, we don't have one because we were already driving. We didn't have an extra, we didn't have any straws lying around. So he drank a little of it, put it in the cup holder, and he went to sleep. He slept the whole rest of the way, and we get to the Catskill Game Farm, and we wake him up, and he just goes, "Can I have a straw?" Like, it was the last thing on his mind when he went to sleep, so it was the first thing out of his mouth, when he woke up. I will never forget that for the life of me.
So they get there, right? And they wake up, and Dean's all grumpy, sipping his coffee, and it was Dean or Sam who decided who split up the team. It was like a Scooby-Doo moment. I think it was Dean, and no, it was Sam.
Sam, I was like, wait a minute.
Sam said that him and Jack were gonna go to the morgue, and that Cass and Dean were gonna go to the crime scene. Which was hilarious because the whole scene when they're getting ready to go out to this crime scene with Cass and Dean, and they're putting on the hats and like talking about how ridiculous they look, and then we get clarification that it's Tombstone the movie, the one with Kurt Russell, and then Cass goes, yeah, the one with guns and tuberculosis.
I love that that's what he took away from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Doc Holliday's tuberculosis, and I was like, that's like one little part of the movie, but okay.
But I love that red ribbon that was around his hat. He should have totally left that on.
It looked like the Calgary Stampede ribbon that they put on hats.
That is what it is, yeah.
So I know it only said Stampede because they're not going to show Calgary Stampede because that would mean like, oh well, they were in Canada and near Calgary, or they took it from, like, I don't know, but it really did, like, I swear I've seen that banner before from the Stampede up in Canada, so that was interesting to me. I pointed that out right away to myself. So they get out and they introduce themselves to the sergeant, I forget his last name, I forgot to put that down too. But Cass can't figure out who the hell he's gonna be, so he decides he wants to be Val Kilmer.
Yeah,
he just goes, "My name is Val Kilmer."
Yeah, not Agent Kilmer.
No.
Well, he
Val
took
Kilmer.
apart the whole tuberculosis. So obviously, that's the character you remember.
Yep. But Dean introduces himself as an agent. Well,
I think
that's what you're supposed to do.
Carl.
The one that got aced.
Phillips?
It was his.
Carl Phillips, I think it was.
Okay. Yeah, Carl was the nephew of the sergeant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was the one that got his throat slit and
So
he had bite marks all over.
Phillips still is his last name.
Yeah, Phillips, Sergeant Phillips.
Joe? Was it Joe?
I don't know.
Might have been Joe.
Might have been. I don't think they gave you his first name until later on in the episode anyways.
Yeah.
Because he had to introduce himself formally, so. And, that was a really interesting exchange because Sergeant Phillips just looks at Cass like, yeah, sure. Can we just, like they just got it over done with. He's like, yeah, my nephew is the victim, he's the deputy, and his name's Carl. Okay. They figured that out. But they didn't really get much from it. But when Sam and Jack go to the morgue, they meet Athena Lopez, who is the Undertaker. She owns the place, the cemetery. She looks after it. And, Sam is doing his regular getup. He's asking the right questions. Finds out she wasn't around. She was out. But Jack comes back and he's trying so hard and it's so cute. And he goes, "Did you smell any weird smells? Were there cold spots?" She's like, "I wasn't here." Like, it's okay. He's a trainee. He's the top of his class. Because she did mention that he looks pretty young to be an FBI agent.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
Sam covered that up
like
pretty good.
Maybe he's 2 weeks old.
He's also in Preg Yellow. I was like, you don't look like you should be there.
No, but I mean, he was really trying.
He was really good at what he was doing too.
He was very observant because we found out later he was the one that matched the face from the cam footage to a picture he saw in the morgue.
Yeah.
Which we find out is Dave Mather, and he died in Dodge City. He was part of the Dodge City gang in 1886, and of course Dean knew all about him because he was a good time shooter. He was one of the fastest. And
watching Dean orgasm over all these cowboys in the hotel. Not literal orgasm, but you know what I mean. Was hysterical.
Mm-hmm. And Jack put together that they're actually dating, but now see, the ghoul only took Dave Mather's face. So, because I think it was Jack who said it the best, that they're shape-shifting zombies because they take the face and body of whoever they've eaten last, the dead body. So
no, it's not whoever they eaten last; it's whoever they've eaten total. They can They can keep shifting between only.
So they have like an archive of different identities.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I actually think shapeshifters work the same way too, but
yeah, I don't know.
Can they? Because we'll only ever see them. We've seen them kill people and then take their shape.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did have the shapeshifter a couple episodes ago, where all she needed was.
Oh, you're right. She did switch back and forth between.
Yeah.
But that might be that could be her actual who she is, though.
Well, I mean, she didn't even need DNA to switch into Jack's mom, into Kelly.
No, she just need pictures.
Yeah. Whereas every other one we've seen really needed like a piece of them.
Ghouls have to consume their victim. Shapeshifters can do it even if their victim is still alive. That's the difference between them.
Well, yeah. Well, they also need to have touched.
Shapeshifters can gain their memories as well.
That's all we haven't ever seen the rendition of the shapeshifter we saw the other day, or not the other day, a couple weeks ago, where she didn't need to touch them to get DNA or anything, because all the other ones, they seem to have needed to do that in the past. So we find out that Dave is indeed the one grave robbing, and he is obviously the one eating people and killing people, and but he decides because Athena actually applied to go to the Caruth program, which is a special effects makeup studio.
Some makeup school in LA.
In LA, and he was kind of ticked because he had something good going on in the graveyard here. You know, he had access to all the dead bodies, and that was his food source. And then she's like, nah, I want to go. And he's like, shit, okay. So he robs the bank for her because he wants to go, but they don't have any money. Yeah. But that's when we get all four of them, Sam, Dean, Cass, and Jack. And it becomes a shootout in front of the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew something was going to happen to the guard. I knew it. Because, he just seems so nice. He's like, I'm just going to lock up. And she's like, okay. And it's like, okay, he's gonna get hurt. I didn't expect from Jack though.
I did have a feeling too, because I figured it was like he's gonna play brave, he's gonna do something stupid, he's gonna get involved, which he did. That's what happened.
Yep, he walked out at the wrong time, and he got blasted. I mean,
I feel so bad for Jack.
So do I, because he's, like I said earlier, he's trying so hard to fit in and take on this life, do good things, but then it really does seem like every time he tries, it messes up, which he's a teenager, but he's still like a toddler. Wait, no, he's still he's only like a month old now.
Yeah, if even that.
If even that. So it's really hard to label him as a teenager or as a child or anything like that, but his brain is basically a teenager because he's so angsty, and he's
angsty cams and all kinds of stuff.
Well, he learned that from Sam and Dean.
Yeah, he's been watching.
You can't blame him for that. He learned it from the people he's looking up to.
Oh, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying he's learning
But
quickly.
he's learning very quickly, and it's just I feel really sad for him because he doesn't know how to process the emotions, and like they were trying to tell him like we've done things like this, we've accidentally killed innocent people, and even Cass like I've killed many people. He's like it doesn't get any easier like feeling bad, but you can get over it eventually. But he is young, and it was his first kill, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's just how much is he gonna feel like it's his father's fault because it's part of that. How much does he think he's becoming his father, and how much do you think he's gonna cling on to Lucifer when he returns?
I don't know, but Jack, he's out. He took off.
Which for the record, I think this is the first episode we've ever heard Jack's angel wings.
I didn't.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It was right before the blast that hit Sam, Dean, and Cass, right?
Yep.
I didn't catch it, but I know.
I didn't catch it either.
I know that would be the part where it happened.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm gonna have to go back and listen because
it
probably sounds so much different than regular angel wings.
I didn't really notice too much of a difference, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've ever heard them.
Huh. Well, I mean, he's really learning to control his powers now. I mean, he made the pencil float, right?
Which he was so happy about. I felt so. He was like, "Oh,
the biggest grin on his face," and Sam's like, "Yeah, good on you."
No, I'm imagining like David Blaine. I just want to stop him.
Fucking wires and shit. But I mean, yeah, so Dean took off, but that's not the end of the show because we have the ghoul still, and the ghoul obviously gets away from the bank because the whole distraction with Jack, and he goes back to Athena, and Athena's like, "No, you cray, I don't want to have anything to deal with you," and that's when Dean's like, "Okay, after the shootout, Dean's like, take Jack back to the bunker. I can deal with this on my own." He teams up with Sergeant Phillips. They just ended up calling him Sarge near the end. And Dean just tells him to aim for the head. And that's when we go back to the flash forward, which was at the very beginning of the episode, so it confirmed that it was a flash forward.
I just love where Dean, when he gets sucked into the sheriff gets sucked into the ground, and Dean's like, "Nope, don't do this." And then he goes, "Sure, oh well," and then he just like jumps in.
No, I don't want to. And then he goes in anyways. Yeah. There was a lot of tunnels.
Yeah.
They were just like, it was like an anthill under the graveyard. It was kind of gross. Which it led straight back into the morgue in one. Was it like an old morgue? Was it a vent or was it like an old like corpse thing?
It looked like
a body chute.
It looks
like
it was the door to like an old, not a chute, but like an old refrigerator storage. It looked like it was a door to that, but it didn't go there. It looked like it was just hanging on the wall, and it was conveniently used as like the ghouls in and out.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I think he took an old school decoration. It's probably like, this might have been like the first door ever used in the morgue for this, and when they replaced them, they saved it, kind of deal.
Yeah, it's just for like memory's sake, history and all that. Yeah. But so Dean makes his way back to the morgue, figuring it out, and Sarge is there, and Athena's there. They're being held captive by Dave, and so eventually, Dean's trying to. Sarge is hurt, so Dean's trying to. Did he lose? He lost his gun in the tunnel, right? That's what happened?
No.
I thought because he didn't have one on him. That's why Dave was like, haha, I got the better of you. You shouldn't have came down here without a gun.
Well, no, I thought he had his shotgun and he gave it to the Sarge.
Oh, okay, there was a switcheroo. I didn't catch it.
Mm.
Yeah, but, there was a whole quirk about him being the fastest shot. There's no way that there's no way that I've done that before too. Damn kids. Yeah, Dave was talking out his ass saying he's the fastest shot, and Dean was like, well, no, this guy is, and moves out of the way, and boom, boom goes Dave's head. All over the floor. That's the end of
And his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, she got a lot of that all over her. Ugh, gross. Good thing you, not, because it kind of looked like she got some in her mouth. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that, that doesn't make
I wasn't paying attention that much attention, gross.
It was like... yeah,
B.
other than...
B.
Yes?
Go take care of that.
Kitty, kitty. So Kitty just wanted out?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, okay. So other than, everybody trying to instill confidence into Jack, try to make sure that he's okay, that he's not another monster, and him taking off and the ghoul getting shot, and that's really where they left the episode off of. So was it storyline, or was it just or was it truly another Monster of the Week episode?
It was Monster of the Week that led into something that will lead into the next episode.
Right. Which looks interesting. Well, sounds interesting because the synopsis is right in front of me, and the next episode is called The War of the Worlds. And I thought they were going to go all alien on me because...
No, aliens don't exist.
I know, fairies. but the thing is, The War of the Worlds, and I go into that stupid, Tom Cruise movie, and I was like, ugh, I hated that movie so much. But it doesn't have anything to do with that at all. It has to do with Lucifer and Michael. But anyways, the synopsis is, as Sam and Dean continue their search for Jack with Asmodeus hot on their trail, they stumble across a familiar foe. Meanwhile, Lucifer manages to escape Michael's grasp and finds himself an unlikely and most unwilling ally.
Now, I love that you guys instantly went to what movie did you say?
She did.
Tom Cruise, War of the Worlds.
As soon as I hear War of the Worlds, I instantly pop to H.G. Wells myself. But he's the writer of the book that the movie was based on.
Yeah, well, I haven't read the book.
Okay. But I believe I remember something about the Trickster directed this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, remember the last episode he did, I really, really, really liked. And I don't remember what that was. Was that Baby, or was that a different one? Because it was that season.
I don't know if he did Baby or not. I mean, that would be an episode that he would have done. It did have his quirk, because his quirk is pretty much equal in real life as it is as the Trickster. So, I mean...
I gotta look and see what he did. He did 2 episodes last season. Mm-hmm. He did Stuck in the Middle with You, and that was Sam, Dean, Cassiel, Mary for helping a case working, but neglects to mention that the British men and letters are involved. Mary's double-crossed. Everything is revealed. Okay, so that was the double-cross episode.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was really good. But he also did Twigs and Twines and Tasha Baines. And that was like the murder mystery episode through the woods. Really like that. But okay, so it was actually the season before is the one I was thinking of, season 11. It wasn't season 12. But season 11, Just My Imagination, that was the one that I really, really liked by him. So hopefully this is something in vein with that. But
I don't know. I don't think it's going to have a comedic vibe to it.
Oh, it doesn't have to have comedic.
No, I know. It just... Yeah, the style. I get it. I mean, this would be the episode that he could do, definitely. The 2 different plot lines with Asmodeus and then Lucifer. It's just gonna be super cool because, I think he knows how to direct the villains well, is what it is.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, we're getting Lucifer back in this episode, so I'm really excited for that because it's been 3 or 4 episodes now since we've seen him or Mary.
And I know my sister's gonna be really happy because she thinks Asmodeus is a very good-looking old man. She likes him. She says the white suit did it for her.
He is. I would agree.
Yeah, he is. He is a very handsome man. That's for sure. Is there anything you guys wanted to bring up about this episode?
No.
No? Anything quirky about Dean having his mangasms about the Cowboys, or... No?
It's weird that I knew all those Cowboys. No, not really, because considering I lived over there. I knew all those Cowboys' names.
And when you were down here this weekend, Nikki, we were talking about if they made a Funko Pop for Jeffrey Dean Morgan in Supernatural, and they do
for
not.
John Winchester.
Yeah,
no,
they do not. They have Bobby. They have Castiel as Steve. They have Crowley, Charlie, Dean, and Sam.
I need to write them a strongly worded letter about not having John Winchester for me.
Yeah, I
for
thought
me and
I
Milo.
remember Angel Castiel somewhere, but I don't see that on the official Funko listing.
I know there's Angel Castiel like little keychains. I've seen those before.
Yeah.
Maybe. I might be mistaken.
It's not on their official listing, but Hot Topic has Castiel listed actually with wings, but that's weird that the official is not listed.
I mean, some of them are Hot Topic exclusive, so. But yeah, if I could get a John Winchester Funko Pop, that would be amazing. Because I saw Negan and I was like, maybe.
Just buy Negan and buy I don't know, somebody else, and then just rip the head off of Negan and put it on. There you go.
Or I could use I don't know, Sculpey Putty and make it look like John's outfit and then just paint him.
To be honest, you probably don't even have to change the Negan one. It's probably
John
not Winchester, because it's even got the baseball bat that Dean claims his father used. So.
Yeah, that was that episode too. Oh boy. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. That's it. We got this. We're good. Dom, where can the people find you?
Find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Kim?
You can find me on Twitter, HUFFITY, chasing a cat around.
And you can find me on Twitter as well at LadyVenom24, LADYVENOM24. And then you can find all of us and more here on Twitch and YouTube, ASOTV Podcast, Google+, MySpace, Twitter, Facebook, and there's also a Discord that you guys can join and follow some things and post memes, talk about your favorite shows and stuff. And so thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye forever.
No, I said next week.
Oh. Bye forever.
Should we have an episode next week?
Mm-hmm.